Welcome everyone to another coaching session, coaching corner session with myself, Kavita, and Carrie as your resident coaches. And also, we'd like to thank Next Group for providing this opportunity and platform for your own learning and development. And a reminder that we do come in every week with topics that we think are relevant, but if you would please submit questions that you have that are brimming that you think maybe you don't have, other people aren't thinking the same, but you'd be surprised that people are probably thinking the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So please do submit the questions, and we'll be happy to address those in our future sessions. So today, Carrie and I thought we would talk about the topic of our strengths. What are our strengths? How do we identify them? And why is that important? So it's a big topic, but again, it's kind of a little micro uh, a session about what strengths are. And so maybe Carrie, you can talk a little bit about that in terms of your coaching and how you approach that.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. And I was just reflecting on this topic, Kavita, and thinking of this kind of this phrase or this invitation that, it's better to be like a first rate version of yourself than a second rate version of someone else. And so I think that really just underscores this whole topic of strengths, in that like leading from your strengths, leading from that place where you're feeling inspired and you're having an impact is just, it's so much more meaningful for you. You're feeling happier, more engaged. And I would imagine your work is also better
Yes. Yeah.
as
Of course.
well, because it's just where you're coming from. And so, that's what today is all about. Like, how can you live from your strengths?
Hmm.
So, I do this a couple ways. One way this shows up is when clients are looking at, what to do next. I often ask them questions like, well, what energizes you? Or, when do you feel you are being your best? Or
Yes.
kind of what's the work that you do that comes just so naturally to you?
Hmm.
Like, what do you
Hmm.
gravitate towards doing? These are just some like pointed specific questions that often help people kind of tap into, oh yeah, this is area of strength, or this is kind of our area of power. So
Hmm.
that's one thing I would put out there for the listeners. And then the other thing that I discuss a lot with my clients is this notion of your essence. And what I mean by essence is your highest and best qualities. And it's not necessarily what you're doing. It's not necessarily like your analytical skills or your um, strong communication skills. It's more your essence is, who are you being and how are you showing up.
Right.
So what's what's so natural for all of us is we tend to show up in our lives from this place of survival, or being very reactive and being very much on the go, or just kind of not necessarily coming from a place of empowerment or strength. And so what I like to do with my clients is go through this discovering your essence kind of exercise, where they actually ultimately end up leaning on other people to ask them how they show up. What qualities do you bring into a room
Hmm.
when you're at your best? And it's super enlightening for clients, because they're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize people thought of me that way.
Right.
Or, wow, I really do light up a room like that. And so it's it's a
Yeah.
process to understand your essence. I distill it down to 5 words. So people have five essence words, and then they're able to use that throughout their journey in
Yeah.
personal situations, professional. You know, how are you going to approach this coming from your essence
I love
versus
that.
maybe your survival or your automatic ways?
Yeah, I love that. I think we should also always substitute essence for strength. I think that's a great word. It's really
Yeah.
a great word. I love that. And then sounds like your clients really get a lot out of those questionings. Really digging deep, and that's what I do. I think really identifying your strengths or your superpowers, I guess you could call them,
Mhm.
is the
Yeah.
basis of rediscovering ourselves. I think,
Mhm.
and I also I think that what I always say in beginning is that, realize that you are enough.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
the only one in this universe that has your combination of skills and expertise and experience in the package that is you, right? So don't forget that not only identify your strengths, but celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
And as women, especially as women, we tend not to do that. We don't take the time to think about all the great things that we've done, all that we have accomplished, all the even cool things about us, right?
Mhm.
And if we remember those things, and then, celebrate them, it really does give us more confidence to move forward. It really does form that basis. So I ask similar questions as exercises that I give my clients, like, list 3 things that you're really good at, you know,
Mhm.
10 cool things about you, put a timer on and just write a list of all your successes, and then
Mhm.
look at that list and remember that I did this, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and then again, asking 3 to 5 people, what do they think
Yeah.
what do they come to me for? You
Yeah.
know, um, it is very enlightening. And then, when you think about it and you write this list of all the strengths and your superpowers or successes,
Mhm.
look at them and say, am I using all my talents, all my skills to the best of my abilities? Like, am I using them in the way that I want to be using them right now? And also, how could I use them in a way that is going to energize me more, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that way you can open up your mind to maybe other possibilities of applying those skills and those strengths that maybe we didn't, think about before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say, bottom line, I don't know if you feel this, but a lot of my clients don't even recognize the great things that they've done, and they don't acknowledge it. So I think that's a first step, is really
Yeah.
saying that, you really are enough. And,
Yeah.
you are qualified, you are strong, you are confident, you are
Mhm.
beautiful, like all those things. Just remember that, and
Mhm.
it'll really form the basis of giving you the confidence to move forward.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I love they were very how you just shared those phrases, Kavita, were very much like in the affirmative, like statements like I am, I am, I am. And
Yes.
those
Yes.
that's super powerful. It's almost like, writing that narrative of how you want to be moving forward. And just
Yes.
we, especially as women, right? I think we're outward looking so much, right? We're
Yes.
outward looking. We're taking care of so many people. We're
Yes.
taking care of so many things. And the exercises that you describe and the exercise that I described as discovering your essence are ways that we can like take care of ourselves and actually look and think about, hey, wow, we've got these amazing strengths
Yeah.
and how much more energizing it
Yeah.
is to be in that place and live from that place.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like we get a choice. We get a choice. Like you can come from this place of maybe weakness. That's going to be kind of draining. That's going to be super
Yeah.
draining, like really
Mm.
hard work. Or you can come from a place of strength and be more energized and inspired.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and recognize everything that you've done, and celebrate. I would say just celebrate yourself. I think that's so important. So,
Yeah, yeah,
mm,
yeah. I
and
love
uh,
that.
and if you need help to identify those
Yeah.
strengths, because sometimes you need people to help
Yep.
you, guide you, to ask you these questions, because it's hard to ask them of yourself. So,
Right. Yeah, it's not
yeah,
just like what are you good at? Like that's there's so many other questions there. And like having that neutral coach or support
yeah,
who doesn't know you really that well, especially in the beginning, and being a neutral source can ask you those questions and have you like dig and go kind of
push you
searching
a
in
little
that
bit, right?
room.
Push
Yeah.
push you a
I
little
like
bit
to
and
think of
dig
it.
deeper. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it's like coaches are like you're with your client, you both have a flashlight, and you're like in this dark room and you're like searching together and the coach is asking you questions to help you really identify and eliminate those strengths.
oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't say it better. So I think we should end it right here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So if any of you want to go searching in a room with a coach with a flashlight, yeah, please do reach out to Kavita or myself, and submit questions. Like, what do you think of this topic? Like, are you finding it easy to tap into your strengths? Is it harder? Do you need support? Please let us know. And what are some other things that are just top of mind for you? As Kavita said, please submit your thoughts. We'd love to support you. As coaches, we want to stand for your greatness. We want to stand for your success. And we want to ultimately stand for you living from your strengths.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Carrie. That was fun.
Yeah. Thanks. See you
See you
next
next
time,
time.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.